fatally shot 3 people while they were sleeping on the streets. Happened on 3 different days this week. Eyewitness News reporter Leo Starworth is live in downtown LA, where police are asking for the public's help in finding the killer before he strikes again. Leo?
Now, they're definitely asking for the public's help. They held an urgent news conference pleading for the public to step in. If you see something, say something. They're on the hunt for a killer who they say is preying on the homeless on the streets of LA. Police say they believe a lone suspect has murdered 3 homeless people in LA since Sunday, each victim shot to death. Police believe a lone suspect targeted the victims, walking up on each one and shooting them to death. They say each victim was alone in an alley or a sidewalk when they were killed. Investigators say the first victim killed Sunday around 3 in the morning in the southeast area in an alley at 836 West 110th Street. The victim identified as 37-year-old Jose Palamos. Police say the second victim murdered in the Central Division area around 4:55 a.m. Monday in the 600 block of East Mateo Street. The victim identified as 62-year-old Mark Diggs. The third victim murdered Wednesday around 2:30 a.m. in the Hollenbeck Division near the intersection of South Avenue 18 and Pasadena Avenue. Police will only say that victim was 52 years old, but they are not releasing his name until his family has been notified of his death. Police concerned the suspect is preying on the homeless in areas where there are next to no witnesses. Detectives showing this shadowy picture of the suspect as well as a vague picture of the suspect's vehicle.
They're isolated, they're by themselves, so we're cautioning that this individual who's responsible, who we believe is responsible, could strike us in Hollywood, in the San Fernando Valley, on the west side. There is no framing of this. We also, why we're reaching out to our neighboring agencies, is what we believe that this individual, the vulnerable population, is also subject to his actions, his murderous actions in other parts of the LA region.
Yeah, the homelessness in Los Angeles is very real. Yeah, I'm from Los Angeles, so I know all about it. They have a place near downtown Los Angeles. It's called Skid Row. And if you've ever been to Skid Row, we're talking about maybe a mile where you see nothing but tents and just homeless people, thousands of people downtown LA. Yeah, the homelessness is not only in LA, but all over the country. It's a pretty bad situation right now. But the Los Angeles police have launched a search for a killer suspected of fatally shooting 3 homeless people in separate incidents around the city, police officials announced Friday. Now, all 3 killings occurred in the early morning hours over a 3-day span in November. Chief Michael Moore said at an afternoon news conference at police headquarters downtown, where he was joined by District Attorney George Gasson and Mayor Karen Bass. This is a killer preying on the unhoused, Bass said. This is a killer preying on the unhoused, Bass said. The first victim was shot about 3:10 a.m. on Sunday in an alley near the intersection of 110th Street and Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. The first victim was shot about 3:10 a.m. on Sunday in an alley near the intersection of 110th Street and Vermont Avenue in South LA, police said. The man, identified by police as Jose Bolanos, 37, was found dead with a gunshot wound. The following day, Mark Diggs, 62, was shot and killed about 4:45 a.m. in the 600 block of Mateo Street. Moore said Diggs was pushing a shopping cart and had stopped to plug in his phone and was about to go to sleep when the assailant approached him and shot him. Man, that's cold-blooded right there. A 62-year-old man pushing a shopping cart. So whoever this person is, just on a killing spree, his life is probably screwed up. He's probably mad at the world. And he's going to take it out on anybody he can. The third shooting occurred on Wednesday at about 2:30. So they look like they're striking early in the morning, but I guess people are not expecting anything like this. So it happened 2:30 in the morning near the intersection of Avenue 18 and Pasadena. That's where I'm from, Pasadena. So it's in Avenue 18 and Pasadena Avenue in the Lincoln Heights area, where the body of a 52-year-old Latino man was discovered. Police did not identify the victim pending notification of his family. Moore said in all three instances, the victims were alone and out in the open. Each one was shot and killed as they slept to turn in for the night, Moore said. Now, Moore said the department has set up a task force of investigators that is working 24/7 to apprehend the killer. The Los Angeles Police Department described the suspect as a man who was seen in a dark-colored sedan. It was not clear whether the man acted alone or if other suspects may have been involved. This is horrifying. The LAPD is searching for a man who has targeted and murdered 3 people experiencing homelessness. LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn wrote on X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. Bass urged the city's homeless residents not to sleep alone and to seek available services. She said homeless outreach workers have been informing those living on the street about killings and the search for the killer. To the person responsible for this, I say this: we will find you, we will catch you, and you will be held accountable. An assault on one of us is an assault on all of us, Gasson said. We have no evidence of disputes, altercations of any type of articulation that would somehow say this was a spontaneous event, Moore said, adding that there was no evidence the shootings were related to other crimes like robberies. Now, Moore said detectives were looking through other recent reports of street violence to look for similarities, but so far, he said, it appeared only 3 shootings were connected. We have had additional shootings since Wednesday, but none of them have involved this type of violence, he said. People experiencing homelessness have represented an outsized number of murder victims in recent years. In January, the I-Team reported that 24% of the victims of the 381 murders that occurred in Los Angeles in 2022 were described as homeless. Wow, that's cold. 24%? Man, that's pretty bad. So far in 2023, LAPD data shows people who were considered homeless represented 15% of the city's murder victims. Yeah, they need to do something about that. I mean, all over this country. You got people, and the weather's getting cold now. People shouldn't be out there sleeping on the streets. That's ridiculous, man. Now, the mayor, Karen Bass, said this news is devastating. She said Friday at the news conference, this is a killer who is preying on the unhoused. Bass also said homeless outreach workers were being dispatched to check on encampments and urged those living on the streets to find somewhere safer to go until this killer is caught. She urged members of the public who know someone who is homeless to try to contact them person as soon as possible. Yeah, that homelessness is crazy. And if you guys know anybody who's homeless, go check on your people, man, because it's pretty bad out here right now. All right, I'll holler at you guys in the next video. I'm gone.